Hi, and welcome to another episode of Wad Up Yutes. And I'm your host, Shauna Pasley Foster. Today with me is a group of young people who are here to share with us their story. We're here to have frank discussions about the things that are important to our young people. So thank you for joining us at the Oracabessa New Testament Church of God. And we are going to be having conversations with our lovely young people. And I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves to you. And to my left here, we have
Gabriel Wright,
Azania Hudson,
Leishery Bailey,
Andre Brown,
Jania Hutchinson.
Shanique Davis.
Thank you so much. And so as you will see that today we have a really good crop of young people with us. We have young people who are chartering that point of their lives where they are entering into adulthood, coming out of the teenage years. We have young people with us today who have been through the teenage years into adulthood. And we are going to be having discussions about issues that matter to you, issues that matter to us. So thank you so much again for joining us. And I'm going to throw my question immediately to our first question immediately to Gabriel. Gabriel is one of our young people who we would have always wanted to have on Wad Up Yutes. And we don't have that conversation yet, but we certainly will get there. But Gabriel, can you just share with us just a little bit about your journey as a Christian? We know you gave your heart to the Lord as a child, and you have been going through those phases. So give us a little insight as to what it has been like for you on your journey, how you started.
Okay. First, before I start, I just want to say thank you for this opportunity. I'm extremely grateful that we have a platform where we can be frank and honest and real. As it relates to my journey, I got baptized when I was around 6 or 8 years old and made a lot of decisions and mistakes leading up to my second baptism. And with the second baptism, I was very nervous and I prayed about it for like a year to if it's something that I should do, because I know that everybody makes mistakes and you're already baptized. So repenting and moving on, but there was just something in me that I felt like I need to do it again. I need to have a fresh start. Like, I need to take it seriously. And yes, I would have repented. Yes, I would have prayed and talked to God and cried and poured my heart out. But there was still something in me feeling like to get that first start, I need to do it again. And so I was even thinking about persons and how they would react, and person saying it's not that deep, it's not that serious, you don't need to repent and move on, you can't take the water for Papa Show or God for Papa Show and those kind of things. But it always boiled down to my relationship with God and what I feel. So I think it was something very important for me. And honestly, from about 15, 14 leading up to now, I'm 17, turning 18 Thursday.
Aye.
So it's been quite a journey. It's definitely not something where you see persons in church and they're shouting. Now I understand why they're shouting and crying. I definitely understand that. So it's not something that is just butterflies and rainbows and what they show you in church or what they show you. So no one shows you the real side of it. You know, the times where you're alone and you're very vulnerable and you have to be vulnerable. So it's been a very eye-opening journey, for sure.
Thank you so much for sharing. Azania, would you like to share some inputs? I'm sure that while there may be similarities to your journey, talk to us about what's up with you.
Okay. My journey has been challenging, but I have learned a lot. It's been 3 years since I've been a Christian, a child of God,
Yeah.
and it hasn't been easy. And as Gabriel said, we made mistakes, and sometimes I feel like the things that I do, and say, but I'm not supposed to, I feel like God just not there no more. I'm gonna give up on me because of what me do. And then me remember say, yo, God will never leave our side, regardless of what we do. Him never gonna leave our side. And I had Gabriel with me on my journey, which me have to thank God for, because without Gabby, I don't know where I'll be right now, to be honest. I don't know. So this journey has been challenging, but to all the viewers out there, I just want to say, regardless of what you're going through, the mistake you have made, just remember, say, your God will never give up on you.
Amen.
Never.
Amen. Amen. And that is important. One of the things that you mentioned that I really, really appreciate. And sometimes we have it, sometimes we don't. And that's one of the things that we have to try to pay attention to. In our walk with Christ, it is good when you have an accountability partner. Somebody who is there to support you, somebody who knows you, who is able to guide you sometimes, and also to hold you accountable and to ensure that you stay on the right path. They're not going to be judgmental. They're not going to judge you because, oh, me fail, and they understand and they'll help you and they'll guide you along. And it's okay. Trust me, sister. I pull it how we feel so all the time. Like when we say things or do things, Lord, where are you? And where am I with you? I hear our bishop say it all the time, and he encourages us. Say 90% of the time is 90 or 99. He don't feel like he is Christian. You can imagine our bishop saying that, because it is the reality of our walk with Christ, and it helps us to keep humble too and grounded. We're nothing without Christ, and we cannot do it in our own strength. So it's okay to not feel like we're at the place where we need to be. It's okay to feel that way, because at the end of the day, our strength doesn't come from us. It comes from God, and He's the one that we are depending on.
Also, I wanted to say, before I became a Christian, I used to think that I have to be perfect, I have to not make a mistake, I have to be perfect for actually,
Right.
want to be there with God.
Right.
And I realized that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. You don't. And sometimes our church family make me feel like, say, you're supposed to do that. You have to be perfect. But you don't have to be.
Right.
You don't.
Right. Because Christ saved each and every one of us. All of us have sinned and come short of the glory of God. And it is because of His grace why each of us is actually going on. And we're moving on to perfection. We're not perfect. Right? Christ is the only perfect being that would have walked this earth. And there were things that would have happened along the way. Right? And He's the only perfect being. And we are trying to be like Christ. Like Christ. Going through all the challenges that this world brings. He just expects us to humble ourselves before Him and allow Him to lead us through. Sister Lily, talk to us about your journey. We know that you have been in church. You grew up in church. And it's only recently that you have made that step to say, I am ready to make this walk. Talk to us, Lily.
Right. So I got baptized about 2 weeks ago. Actually, exactly 2 weeks ago. I got baptized 2 weeks ago today. Well, no.
Yes.
2 weeks ago, right?
Weeks ago.
And so far, the journey has definitely been a journey. Like, I feel like people don't really talk about what happens, like the realization that you get after the fact. Because when you're doing it and you're up there and you're testifying, you're like, okay, this is my decision, this is what I'm going to do. But then when it comes to coming outside of the house of the Lord and going out back into reality, it's hard. Like, it's because just a few days ago, some of the people who I would consider like really, really close and really who I would consider true friends have really been showing that, I don't know if I'm just seeing it, but they've really been showing that God is really the only person right now, the only one who you can count on, who won't give up on you, who won't fail you. Like, He will never fail you, and He hasn't failed me yet. So I feel like my journey, although it's short, not as long as everybody else around me, although it's short, I feel like He's just here to guide, and He's just here to protect. And if you keep on going back to Him, then really you're set in life. Because I told my friends that I was a Christian. They were like, what? They were shocked. I was like, yeah, I'm a Christian now, I just got baptized. They were like, no, something have to be, they felt my head, asking me if something's wrong. I'm like, no, nothing is wrong. I just love the Lord, and I believe that once you get that realization that, the Lord is good, and He will always be there for you. Once you get that realization, I don't feel like you should itch with it.
Yes.
Like, as soon as you realize that this is what I want to do, this is the path I want to go on, this is who I want to be, you shouldn't itch. So if I'm encouraging young people out there, like, if you have a feeling that this is the path that I want to take and it's time for me to take this path, just do it.
Do it.
Just do it.
Just do
Like
it.
Nike.
Just do it. I like it. Oh no, look here. Just do it. Bless
do
the
it.
Lord. Just do
Yes,
it. It is time, and we are so happy for you, Lily. Of course, you're old. Go on. We are so happy that you have made the step, and there's so much that God is going to do through you, with you, and we are so excited for the journey.
Thank you.
Bless you, my darling. Zandre, talk to us, my brother. Talk to us. What up?
Alright, so it hasn't been long since I got baptized either. Once you get baptized, it's like a place in your brain is just separate for you alone. So you have that one place where you can just be yourself, you talk to yourself. It's like having a conversation, you and God. You're able to discuss things that you usually can't get out of your head, because it's sometimes hard for you to talk with other people and try to translate that message to other people. So it's like just a place for you and yourself and God to just expose yourself.
Wow, that is powerful. Wow, talk to us, Zandre.
So growing up, you're always around a certain type of people. Especially where I am, now at college, you have a lot of different type of people, a lot of different groups and different minds, people who have different interests and also experience different things. Once you go there, it's like you have to make your mark, but making your mark, you have to do it in a way that's, you're supposed to be in this line, and you know that you're going on this path, so you just have to do it in that path. There are a lot of different paths that will probably show up and try to tease you or try to bring you into that path and try to put you on the wrong path. But once you know that you're on God's path, you just walk straight on that path, you're looking forward. And some people think that there aren't people there who you will probably meet, and so they think it's a lonely road and so, but there are people who you will meet along the way who will guide you and help you throughout the whole process.
Definitely. You see, that stage of life, when you get to college, when you're into that phase, it can be tricky. And like you said, you really have to be grounded. You have to know what you're about. You have to know, because if not, there are going to be other paths, other persons with other beliefs, other religions, other things that persons will say to you. And if you don't have that foundation and that grounding, you can be led astray, and that is so important. And we are happy that you would have, yes, recently made the step to serve the Lord, but growing up in church, the foundation is set in Sunday school and Bible studies and the family devotions and conversations that you have. And that is one of the things that I am grateful for with a lot of our young people. The Bible tells us that we should train up a child in the way that they should grow, so that when they are old, they will not depart. And while I hear Zandre and I hear Gabriel and I hear Lily saying, the walk would have been at a certain age, the reality is the seeds start planting a long time. Yeah, growing up in church. And it's not always easy for children who grew up in church to really make that step and that decision to walk with the Lord. It sometimes can be difficult because you see everything. You see all the things that happen in Christendom, and sometimes it can be challenging. But I'm so happy for you. Listening to your conversations, I know that you guys don't take this lightly, and just you have a mind made up to serve the Lord. And I am happy for you.
Thank you.
Bless you. Moving right along to that little princess over there. Talk to me, sweetie. Talk to us about your journey.
Well, my journey definitely has not been easy. I got baptized first when I was 7 years old at the wish of my mother because she was passing. She wanted to see me baptized before she died. So I got baptized, and I'm going to be very honest, I wasn't really living a Christian life after that. And when I was 15, I went overseas and I was going to this church. The problem I had with this church is, you know, like when they bring you to the altar and they be like, oh, do you want to give your life to the Lord? And they're like, it's your choice. They didn't really do that. It's like they're telling you have to baptize, and then they have it posted on Facebook. So I felt like I was pressured because they're like, you don't baptize in Jesus' name, so you know you have to baptize again. So I kind of got intimidated and I got baptized again at the age of 15. And it didn't really feel okay to me because it wasn't of my own free will. So I didn't really live the life that I was supposed to live. And sometimes when I tell people like I'm baptized, they're like, girl, you don't live like say you're a Christian, you talk about say you're a Christian and you know I live Christian life. And I was trying to explain that both times that I got baptized, it wasn't really my wish. I didn't say, you know, I feel like it's my time. So they were like, yeah, hypocrite. You know, if you tell nobody, but like at the same time, I do believe in Jesus. I do want to serve Jesus, but I just felt like it should be on my own time. And I feel like a lot of people, like when they come to church and they hear that you need to give your life to the Lord, they feel like if me not do this now, they might go say me this or me that. So it's like they feel pressured into doing it even though they're not being pressured in a sense. So I think that if you do even get baptized and it's not of your own free will, I think that you should still take that as a good part in life and still try to build a wonderful relationship with God and try to bring, when you're having your problems, you know, you pray to Him, you have this conversation with God and show that even though this in the beginning was not my decision, it can still come out to be something good.
Bless you. You see, the truth about it is that baptism, when we do the immersion, is important, but it's symbolic. It is saying to the world, I have made up my mind to serve the Lord. But the true thing is that mind made up, that commitment that you make to say, I am ready to serve the Lord. Because as we said, the water is just outward appearance. It's just the outward show to the world that I have made this decision. The relationship that you have with God is the most important thing. And I think you would have touched on that. So it doesn't matter that maybe you were pressured into getting baptized once, twice, or 3 times for some people, right? But I hear you saying and encouraging somebody, don't think about where you started with that baptism. Get your relationship right with the Lord. Get to know Him. Get to connect with Him and have that relationship with Him, because that is what is going to keep you when you're going out to college and all the other things coming your way. That's what's going to keep you. When you have to go back to the friends and they're going to say, you're sure you're all right, and check your pulse and everything? Yes. That is what is going to keep you. Your relationship that you have built with Christ, because you have made that decision that, yes, this is what I want to do. And so, as you rightly say, we need to ensure that we get into that place where we get into the Word, pray, talk to the Lord. Lord, I did this because initially Mommy said I was supposed to do it. And I don't feel like I did it on my own accord. But what do you want me to do? What is your will for my life? And that's important. Now, I'm going to invite somebody a little bit more senior to the conversation. Sister Shanique Davis.
Afternoon, everyone, and thank you. Thank you for inviting me to have this discussion. I love these type of discussions, especially talking with young people. Yes, it's really nice to hear your perspective. Having grown up in a different era, and it was a whole different scenario than what you guys are facing now. Never have all this social media and all them beautiful things. But my journey, so don't you say me can tell you. My journey has been a long, challenging journey. And one of the things that I always try to tell adults and older folks, do not let it look to the younger folks like it's all roses and dandy. You have literally, figuratively, but let's say literally, you have taken up an armor and you are on a battlefield. So if you know anything about being in an army and being a soldier, that's what you have signed up for. You signed up for the military. So now we are fighting to stay saved, fighting for what's right, fighting for what you know is true, fighting to convince your friends that, because find out that there are young people that are now atheists. They don't even know what that is, but they are now atheists and they don't believe in God. Fighting to convince your friends that yes, there is a God and He is to be worshipped. So my journey started when I requested my baptism from the age of 8. But somehow it just never happened. It never come to fruition. But I was baptized at the age of 10. And that was a decision that I made for myself. And it was something that if they never baptized me, I'd probably start get some whole heap of trouble and start get out of order. Because I was determined. Because I wanted to get baptized because I see the joy that other people are having. And yes, I probably didn't see the challenges. I probably never said that aspect of it. But as a little child, I was determined to be baptized. So they didn't have a choice. But the journey from there has been rough. You people are young in the faith. And I am here with Sister Shauna to allow you to understand that it's not necessarily going to be all beautiful. But guess what? There are a few things that you have to take into consideration. I heard Sister Azania touched on it. You have to have accountability. And I will tell you that that is one of your most important keys in your Christian walk. Someone to keep you grounded. You have to have your relationship with God. Personal. I don't mean say, okay, Gabby, pray for me. Oh, did you pray for yourself? So you have to also be praying for yourself. And remember, prayer is not necessarily, oh, you're going to just be prostrate on the ground and you're just going to... It's not just that. That's not just the only way to pray. There are many ways. And I've learned over the years to include what is happening around me as my prayer. Yes? So, okay, meaning I would have heard... For example, Rev preached, and he's saying that you need to be a servant. That's an opportunity to pray, Lord, please make me have a servant heart like Jesus Christ. And so that's how I've started to pray, to ensure that I am always praying. As the Bible reminds us, pray without ceasing. So you hear something and you understand something and it needs to be applied to your life, pray. And ask God to allow you to apply it to your life. From there, my Christian journey, I think I would have to take the whole afternoon and tell you all that has happened. But one of the things that I think would be significant to the conversation is the fact that I faltered along the way. I'm not perfect. I tell you now, I have failed. And I have not failed once. I've not failed twice. I've not failed 3 times. There have been multiple fails. Why? All those times that I've failed, it is because I placed my trust in myself. And I thought that I could do it. Made a decision without consulting God. And that's one of the things that I would encourage all young people. If you're going to make a decision, whether it be major or minor, consult God. Because the mistake I made is to think that, oh, it's a small decision. I don't need to include God. Okay. I feel like I would go to college and study. Well, that's probably a major decision. Let's say I want to go to art and do a 3-month course. Did you ask God if He wants you to do that 3-month course? No. But we need to ask God, even if the decision seems to be small and minute. Remember, every decision that we make paves the path toward our destiny. So we have to include God in all our decisions. And that would be, I think, the takeaway that I wanted to have from what I'm saying today. Accountability partner. Which, for me, you probably won't notice long time. I'm somewhat of a loner. I keep myself to myself. It's not something. I'm not sick, guys. That's yes, that's just how I am. And I don't know if it has anything to do with being the middle child. You're not the oldest, you're not the youngest, you're just there. You're just there. But anyways, I am somewhat of a loner, but I am learning, as Tashana will tell you. Call somebody if you're facing a challenge. You can't do it. Call somebody. Let them be an accountability partner to you, and also pray. And the next thing is to allow God to help you to make every decision that you're making.
Bless you, bless you. That is so important. It's important to each and every one of us to take to heart that encouragement and that guidance from Sister Shanique. Accountability partner. No, that accountability partner can be somebody your age group like Azania and Gabriel. That's fine. But some persons can have that in their parents, for those who are able to trust their parents in that way. It can be another senior in church that you feel comfortable talking to. So it can be somebody in your age group, or it can be somebody who is senior to you. But try to ensure that whoever it is that you're going to allow to be your accountability partner is somebody that you really feel can help you on this Christian journey. Yes?
Just want to chime in right here. So while we're going to have accountability partners, which means that you both share and help each other along, a mentor is also
important.
Probably more important than accountability partner. Someone that has been there and done that and has overcome. So just looking for a mentor is not necessarily, Sister Brown look like you'd be a good mentor. No. Ask God. And trust me, He will show you who you are to go to, or that person is going to come to you.
Yeah.
God works in mysterious ways.
Yes. So it's important for us to ensure that we have somebody in our corner that we can actually call on, because there are going to be times. And yes, we call on God. Yes, because that is where we have our center and our being with Christ, and we communicate with Christ and we pray. But there are going to be situations, young people, that you don't even feel like you can pray. Yeah, there are going to be times when you don't feel like you are able to pray. And so you are going to need somebody who you can call on in that time to say, help me pray. Pray for me. This is happening. And why I say it's important for you to identify this person is somebody that you're going to feel safe with. Somebody that you are able to share. You know that there is no judgment. You know that they're not going to tell you about it 2-3 months from now. Say whatever the situation is, they're going to pray you through. They're going to encourage you. They are going to be frank with you. Because sometimes we think that what is good for us is not necessarily good for us. And that person is going to tell you, you step out of bounds. But anyhow, come and pray about it. Right? So you have to, and it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes it takes a while for you to find that person that you feel safe with, somebody that you can. But it is good to have somebody in your corner who you are able to be vulnerable with, and is going to help you along this journey. But believe that that person is not the most important. The most important person is Christ. So build your relationship with Christ. But it's important to have your accountability partners and your mentors. And as Sister Shanique says, you're not going to go out there and go fish and find a mentor. They will either find you or God will show you who it is. And it takes time sometimes. I am so grateful for the conversation that we have been having so far. I want to encourage you and to just talk to me about whatever the reality is on your mind now. Something, I want to get to this part of the conversation now. You tell me something that is of concern to you, or something that has been on your mind that you really want to talk about long time. Talk to me, Gabby. Because I know there's something today where you want to talk about long time. And a topic that you want to touch. So let's go there.
All right. Are we ready? I had to make up my mind about this because I knew you told us that this was going to happen. Because this is something I struggle with for years. And people don't talk about it in the church. I talk about it as it pertains to boys, but not girls, or as much. And right now, to utter these words, my heart is racing. But to build myself so that there's two things I really want to say. The first thing, which is a bit easier for me, is that growing up in church and knowing that you should serve God, I don't know how to compare it to somebody who has they didn't grow up in church. They've heard about God, visited a church, but growing up in church and people expecting that you should give your life to God, I think it's a lot different. And you can sometimes feel like, what is wrong with me? Because I know I'm supposed to do it, but there's something that I'm not ready, or I don't think I can do it as yet, or something like that. Versus the person who people aren't in their ear as much about giving your life to God, because those persons don't know, they didn't grow up, they're not accustomed to that. So with that being said, also, I've realized this with myself the other day. There are lots of songs. I was listening to a song by Jermaine Edwards, Don't Count Me Out. Don't count me out, I'm still running. And he's talking about how persons wish that that you would fail, so you're going to fail, you're not good enough, you're not this. But the truth be told, I can't relate to that. I cannot relate to that at all. I've grown up in church. People have said that you're smart, you're strong, you're going to be a great woman, you're going to become to be great things, and yada yada yada. I've gotten prophecies about my life, my family's life. But when persons talk about persons hating them, yes, there are one and two persons who are like, oh, you're too tight or you're hype. But when you have that much people encouraging you, those voices are, they're not anything. You don't focus on them. They're silent. You can phase them out with the encouragement. But with the encouragement comes a side of it where perfectionism, pressure, expectations, feeling like if you're not there. I remember crying when I would get like a 70, 50%, those kind of grades. Like, I would bawl. I would cry. Because what are they going to say? Will you still be perfect? Will you still be loved? Will they still cheer you on? And even if I fail, sometimes I feel like I'm my biggest enemy. Because even if I do fail, I'm probably like, it's okay. No, it's not okay. You need to do better. They realize that them never tell us them love you, or whatever. It's like, it's crazy, and it sets an expectation, and I don't want to sound ungrateful, because a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have the encouragement. But with the encouragement, I feel like I pressure myself to the point where, I remember CXC, after CXC, I was burnt out. But I sit down on my yard, and it's like, you're lazy. Why you're not doing anything? Why you're not studying? Why you're not working? You're not good enough, or because you study. You did well. I did really well. And I come to a point where I don't have to do it anymore. But why aren't you doing it? And it's like, having all of those expectations and all of that love, I'm so grateful for it. But there are times where I feel like I'm not perfect enough. I don't do enough. I'm not studying enough. And then if you don't hear the praise, if you don't get the praise, it's like, okay, something's wrong. We need to do better. We need to be doing more to get the praise. And with that praise, oh my God, humility kind of out the door. Out the door. Especially being the youngest child. And I get all the attention. Man, I get all the attention. And it's like, I don't have that anymore. I'm growing up, and as I said, with expectations and being the youngest and getting the attention, it's like, if I don't have the attention, am I still enough? Am I still worthy of attention? Am I still worthy of love? So I feel like a lot of people can't relate to me. Well, I don't know, but I feel like a lot of people can't relate to me on that aspect, or on that side of it, because it's like, I grew up in church, Gabriel Wright this, Gabriel Wright that, Sister Gabriel, she grew up in church, she's supposed to know everything. I don't know everything. I don't know everything, my guy. Like, relax. And it's so hard. I cry a lot because of that. A lot. I remember sleepless nights in my bed. I will never forget. I have my image in my head. I remember what I was wearing, crying and asking God, why me? Why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing? Like, I can't manage this anymore. I'd rather people tell me they hated me than people encouraging me. Because I can feel at least when people tell me that they hate me, because that's what they expect anyways. So having all of those expectations, it's not easy. And then I even had this problem with her, where it was like, one, because I moved around a lot as a kid, I expected people to leave. So I remember we were walking to James Bond Beach, and I told her that you're going to leave. I'm ready for you to leave. Because I lived at Galena, I lived at Oracabessa, I lived at Boscobel, I moved from Boscobel to another part of Boscobel, and now I'm at Tree Hills. I moved from Iona Preparatory to Oracabessa Primary, Marymount High to Oracabessa High, now I'm at York Castle High School. It's a lot. So I expected people to leave. I looked her in the face and say, "You're going to leave me," and that's okay. I was ready for you to leave. Okay, bye. So I'm used to it. Wow. And she told me, she looked at me, and she don't understand how much that really helped me. She said, "That's not going to happen. I'll always be here." Wow. And even to this day, she's here. Amen. She's still in my life. Yes. But that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. I kind of derailed, but it was that expectations are a lot, and it's hard. And I kind of have to, right now I'm learning, teaching myself to love myself through it, because I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. No one is perfect.
I am happy that you touch on that, and I know you're going somewhere else, but before you go there, I would love if there's anybody else who would like to chime in on what she just said about the expectations that is there because you grew up in church, because of this constant praise and the expectations and so on. What is that like for you, if there is a story to share? Anybody else have anything to share on that topic? Anybody else? No? Yes? Okay.
Okay. So, as it comes to expectations, I'm also the youngest, right? I'm the youngest person. I'm the second to youngest cousin out of all of the cousins, right? So when it came to me and what people expected from me, because my big brother, right, he's doing so much right now. He's not here at the moment, he's overseas. But when I look at him and when I look at the things that he used to do, I used to compare myself to him a lot. Like I don't think people, like when they're talking about expectations, I don't think people talk about how much you compare yourself to others, while people are expecting greater things from you. Because back a few years ago, I was speaking to my brother and my mother, right? And we have our family banter and stuff. But she said one thing that really, because she used to, because she didn't do it to hurt me or anything, it was a joke, but I'm kind of sensitive. So I didn't take it as a joke. We was talking about fruitcake. Okay, fruitcake. We were talking about fruitcake, and she was like, "Oh," and I told her, "I don't like fruitcake." She was like, "Oh, you don't like fruitcake because Joanne doesn't like fruitcake." I'm like, "Okay." And I took that to my heart, really. And it's just fruitcake. So I'm like, so it's like, growing up, especially with all of the pressure, because everything that Joanne didn't do, I am expected to do. It might not be like, nobody might not say it, that this is what I expect of you, but deep down I feel like I have to, right? I feel like if Joanne gets a 60 in physics, I'm doing physics right now, I have to get a 90. Or it's not gonna be okay. It's not gonna be okay with me. It's not gonna be okay with my parents. I'm like, they don't talk about how much you compare yourself to others during this whole journey. Because like when you compare yourself to others, it really takes a toll on you. And I don't think people talk about the mental toll comparing yourself to others takes. Like, because when you're comparing yourself, you're looking into yourself and you're also looking at other people. But what we don't talk about is that this might be how they look on the outside, other people, but on the inside you have no idea what they're going through. You have no idea what struggles. You may be saying, oh, she's so amazing, she gets good grades all the time, she's doing stuff for herself. Because I'm gonna be so honest, I used to look at Gabby that way. I used to look at Gabby that way.
Because of how we grew up in church, because of how we grew up in church, me and Lily, we were close. Like when we were younger, we were really close. But life happened, and we're not as close as we were when we were younger. And I said to Azania, I compare myself to Lily so much.
All right.
So you saying that it's crazy. When it comes on to family, when it comes on to school, everything, like Lily have it. Lily got it. Lily's the it girl. And it's crazy to hear that. It's crazy to hear you say that, because you comparing yourself to me and me comparing myself to you.
Y'all
when
see
they say
that now?
comparison kills, comparison
Kills. That's right.
It really does.
That's right.
And
That's
even
right.
with the whole brother thing, like I relate with you so much, because Nathan is even cleaning my room. I'm really kind of nasty. I still no lie. I was kind of nasty. But it's like, because I always wanted to be one up on Nathan so I could get back the, yeah, she did it, she got this. And even with cleaning the room, Nathan always tidy. My mother, oh my God, like I don't know if she have OCD, but mighty God of Daniel, to live with that woman, Jesus. If you're untidy, dog name your supper. But I was at a certain age, I'm the youngest, so I get away with certain things, to be honest. But Nathan, clean. Delano, clean. And it's like she'd always say, yeah, and I'm the girl. That's the thing. You're supposed to be clean. Yeah. I'm the girl. And I think it was like 14, 13. We're still in basketball now. And Nathan started cleaning my room and start move this, put setting in our room. So I said, all right, you think I can do that? Me can do that too. And I started moving my room, cleaning, and from that, I'll Azana. If I think my hair and Michaela, them can't stand me because I hate seeing a place untidy. But even with simple things like that, comparing yourself, CXC, Nathan passed CXC and he never get Soshi. He didn't do IT. I hope you don't mind me saying that. But he didn't do IT. I don't think he liked IT. So I told myself, I didn't want to do Soshi and I didn't want to do IT. But Nathan never gets Soshi and Nathan never did IT. So I'm gonna do it. And I did it and I passed, and Nathan did really well. The both of us made the merit list. I didn't even know he made the merit list until the other day when I made the CXC merit list. And it's like, all right, Nathan get 2 in this, me I get 1. Nathan get 1 in this, me I get what name, distinction. It's like everything is a one-up thing. And even comparison, oh God, it's grade 6 was the worst time of my life. I compared myself to almost everybody. I went to Oracabessa primary in the second term of grade 4. Seeing everybody have them clique, them group, them gang. And it's like I was trying to fit in. So I had to change who I was. And like changing who I was to fit in, I had to break pieces of me to fit into their puzzle. And by the time I was in grade 6, oh God, no matter how you tell me I was the smartest person in that room, I did not believe it. I did not believe it. Persons where I knew I had the capacity and the ability to go to Immaculate Conception. I wanted to go to Immaculate so bad. But by the time I was at grade 6, I did not care. I did not care. Because it's like, okay, Gabriel, you're not good enough. I think grade 6 was the first time I tried to kill myself. Out of the 3 times. He was like, you're not good enough. You're not there. Or it's just like I was trying to be like a group of girls. I didn't fit in with them. Let me fit in with the nerds. Didn't fit in with them. Let me fit in with the other set. And it was like I was always trying to be somebody and try to fit in. And I could never fit in. I could never fit in. And doubt, even like today, I'm struggling with doubt. No matter, as I said, the whole expectation thing, I doubt myself so much. And I compare myself, like even with like Lily and other people in the church and people at school. I would doubt myself, and it's like, all right, you don't look good. I was a chubby kid, and it's like, you're too fat, and I was a late bloomer. You see how much things I got through? I was a late bloomer, and that just made it worse. And I was like, all right, oh, she look like that, and me not look like that, and I'm going to say this, but I even stuffed my bra. Yeah. I did that. Yeah. But yeah, we gotta fit in, my guy. Yeah. I can't be flat chested, and even with the little chest, I never chest I did fat. So, be so for real. But But I will just talk and talk and talk. But the second point is, I'm building myself to say, it's masturbation. People don't talk about this as it relates to girls, and it's something that's not easy to talk about because it can be very shameful. It is very shameful. Well, it can be. Because I prayed, I talked to God about it, so you can't tell me nothing when it comes down to what I've already done and what He's forgiven of me and what I've done. But it's a struggle because, can't go to your mother, can't go to your father. This is the first time I've even seen it publicly. The first time I said it was to her. This is the first time I'm saying it to anybody else. Struggling with that in church. It was a post on Instagram where this girl was like, she struggled with it. And I'm like, okay, I'm not the only person who has ever done this.
Because we talk to the boys and we tell the boys
how
to deal with it. And we tell the boys, but we don't talk to the girls about
because
it.
apparently the girls don't go through it. And since we are expected not to go through it, when we do go through it, it's like, oh my God, I deserve to die. I deserve to be crucified. When it's not that deep.
What is happening in my body?
It's not. You're feeling these things and you don't know what to do. And really and truly, we are exposed to things on the internet. A lot more than I believe. Like your generation, you're not that old, but you know what I mean.
My generation.
Yeah, you're still young, still fresh. But during this phone era and technology and how technology has advanced, it's like click of a button, you can look at something. Click of a button, you can see a man having a sex with a woman. So it's like, and then even grade 4, I was exposed to something that I feel traumatized me. This girl was watching something on her phone. I think that was like the first day of grade 4. The first day, this girl was watching something on her phone, and I saw it. And grade 4, no? Grade 4. I don't even know what, at school. I don't even remember what age are you in grade 4? 10. A 10-year-old seeing something like that. And then growing up and wanting to do things and then doing it, it's like, whoa, I can't come to church, I can't talk to God about it, and then you go in this cycle of God doesn't want to hear from me, you don't pray, stop reading your Bible, you stop doing this, and then it leads to you doing more things. You create a crack which creates a door for the enemy. So it's like masturbation amongst females isn't talked about, and this is very hard.
Or sexual
the sexual urges that females have, is that it's not talked about. Nobody talks about it. And then if you lose your virginity before you get married, oh my God. Like at the end of the world, you have to dead, you have to this, you're impure, you have to wear black for the rest of the days of your life. Like, come on, my guy. It's like, we need to talk about this thing, be so for real. It's something that I struggled with. It's something that other girls are probably struggling with. And nothing is new under the sun. And we can't act like these things, that when somebody comes to you about it, it's like you're the first person. It's wrong. And all of these things. Like, you have to be honest. Be real with yourself. Because when you feel like somebody else went through it, okay, I can go to mommy. Mommy got through it. Yeah. Okay, mommy, I can talk to you. Okay, mommy, you get it.
You understand.
So it's like, be honest. When it comes down to that specifically, I just want people to be honest and be real
about it. And it is a space that we have to ensure that we create to have that conversation with our young people. And I'm happy that you brought it up here. I'm not sure how much I've learned, because as young people, you have the same questions and the same need to get more information from persons who have walked the walk. No, the reality is, and we know what the Bible says about us as Christians, as people of God. It is important for us to keep ourselves pure. It is important for us to, according to what the Bible instructs us, we should not engage in sex until we would have gotten married. And that is something that we should ensure that we try to walk that path. But the reality is that sometimes we allow ourselves to be in spaces where things can happen. Sometimes because of whatever our life situation may be, it's not necessarily we put ourselves in those situations. We may live in a space where it happened, or somebody might be there, and you get so comfortable. You are doing comparisons and you're not feeling so sure about yourself, and there's this other person who have a different motive from what you have come along, and you feel so comfortable with that person, so you just let yourself go and things will happen. And I think your major concern is, listen, don't tell me to just go and have a shower when I have the urge, because it no work. Some persons will say, okay, it works for me. Some persons will say, well, it don't work. What else do I do? Even some adults, because let me be honest with you, young people. It is something that you're going to struggle with, and you will have the urges, and thank God for it when you do. Give God praise for the urge. No is not the time that you want to exercise it, because you're not married, right? But you see, when you get married and you want it and need it, give God thanks for it. So it is not something for us to be afraid of or taboo about. But the reality is, and your concern now is, how do I deal with it? Because it's there. I'm not a husband, I'm not a wife. What me do? Right? For me, one of the things I would encourage you to do is the first thing. There are going to be persons that you like. Yeah? There are going to be persons, because at this stage, our bishop tells us that we should be going out in groups and dates together because it is safer. And we're not saying that because we want to cage you. We're saying it because we want to protect you. Because we know, been through it, been there, done that, we're not that safe. So if we find ourselves in our space with one person, in our place where it can happen, it gonna happen. It gonna happen. So what we're suggesting is, and that's why one of the things that Rev would have mentioned when we had our discussion about dating and courtship, is try to go out and enjoy yourself. Nothing wrong with that, but do it in groups. Yeah? So, Gabby, I know say really Zandre I want to go to it, you know. I know say Zandre I want to go to the movie with. But I'm going to invite Lily. I'm going to invite Gabby. Gabby, talk to someone and make we go a movie. As Zandre I want to go with it, but make we go a movie. Because you want to ensure that you have that safe space and we go out together. So we can still go a movie. We can still have fun, but if me and Sandra alone go, who knows what's going to happen? So we try to create that safe space, right? And that's one of the reasons why our bishop encourages us, go out in groups. Have fun, yes. And at this stage, you might eye somebody, and I'm just telling you based on some of the encouragement that we would have gotten from Young Adults Ministry through our bishop, right? And I'm telling you what, we would have shared, but you can always, kick back. One of the things that he would have mentioned to us is it's okay to go out in groups. But one of the things as Christians that you don't want to do, even if you know it's Zandre like, as Zandre like, nobody else not know. And we don't want it to be public knowledge that is Zandre. You know Zandre know, and we know so we like each other, but nobody else not need to know. Yeah. So we are in the groups and the cliques. We're in the groups and the cliques and we're all together. Nobody else no need to know. Because you don't want to, even though in your mind you eye and you spot, you don't want to single out that person because you and I don't know. Today, well, at this age and this stage of our life, is Andre. But you see, next 3 months, I like him again. You understand? And then when you would have picked that spot with Zandra and everybody see you and Zandra, now the pressure coming in again in a girl because everybody expects say you are 17 and is you and Zandra. So why am I here somebody else again 3 months from now, 6 months from now? So to protect yourself from that is what I believe that Bishop would be saying to us. You go out in the groups, even if your spot, don't make it be so much that you two click up together. Because 6 months down the road and you change your mind, that is not him as the it. Everybody goes say, but I saw them together. And then that is when it comes into the picture now. Oh, I did she and this one, and I did she and that one, and I did she and that one. You understand? And especially for us ladies, because I can more relate with the ladies. Especially for us ladies, it become like, oh, she just moved from this one and that one. You understand? So you have to be careful, right? It's not easy, right? But at the end of the day, we want to try to do these things to protect ourselves, right? And to protect, not, because remember, this walk with Christ is not just only about us. It is about Christ. And we want to protect the name of Christ, right? So it puts a little more pressure on you, Yes, I know it does. But as children of God, we are called to be light of the world, right? And so we have to ensure that we're not only thinking about my walk with Christ, but only, yes, it's important for me to look at my walk with Christ, but in walking with Christ, the things that I do speak Christ. And if I am not doing the things that is going to make him, because you're going to make Auntie Shauna proud today, but you're not make Auntie Kendra proud. Because the things that you do now, Auntie Shauna might be okay, but Kendra not go okay. And Sister Shani not go okay. But if we are pleased God, then it doesn't matter around us who is pleased. Right? So our walk with Christ, we try our best to please God and to try to do what He wants us to do. So it's not easy, Gabriel, to navigate that path, but we're not going to pray it away. We're not going to pray it away. What we're going to do is to try to protect ourselves from indulging in the sexual acts. And one of the ways that we can try to prevent ourselves from indulging in the act is to not be close to people who it can happen with, not go into spaces where it can happen. My mother used to tell me when we were growing up young, if you find yourself in a place where it can happen, tell the world it will happen. And best believe it, it is true. So you want to ensure that you protect yourself in that way. So you try to avoid places where it can happen, and you try to ensure that you don't really necessarily point to pick and show the whole world that this is somebody that you like. Try to do whatever you're doing in groups and cliques, right? I don't know if Auntie Shan would like to chime in on other things that you can do to try to maintain your purity, or if anybody else have anything that they want to chime in on before you go ahead, Gabby.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. I just wanted to say one thing because I want to hear the opinions of everybody else as well. But as it relates to what you said, there's this quote I saw on Instagram. We repent enough to be forgiven, but do we surrender enough to be changed? So it is that, yes, I pray and I repented about that sin or that sexual temptation. I repented, but I'm not going to place myself. Because as it relates to what I went through, I try not to watch, simple as watching a movie, being too close to somebody in terms of physically, because I want to, as you said, surrender those things enough so that I can be changed. So try not to place myself in certain situations where I'm going to do it or where I'm going to be tempted to do it. So that's what I want to say. Do we repent enough to be forgiven, but do we surrender enough to be changed?
Alright, so I am surrounded by a lot of girls. So as a boy, I have to represent, I have to talk up for the men who can't talk. So as a boy now, you probably say, alright, you like that girl, but you see for me now, it's like it's a trophy that's mine. Nobody else own. Nobody. Don't touch it. Don't look on it. No.
Talk to you, man.
You see me with her, you leave her. So no. It's like, no, the girls that time around then develop this mindset about me like, oh, you see, once you see him with that girl, you say, don't know what going on, film that. I'm not talk to nobody where him not like. If him not talk to you, him not like you. All. But there are times where I probably like you and you're over there, and I'm like trying to figure out this whole plan now. Like, oh, me I go over there now. Oh, me I go do this. And then now you have the men now. Like what you said with the going out situation, and you don't go nowhere with nobody who have that type of urge and all that stuff. Completely different with the men. Men now, we not even reach there, so. We have to figure out, alright, me have to link up something, because him know what to say and do all them things here, so you say, alright, me need the advice, me need coaching. Then me I say, alright, so you can bring that girl there because we say we don't want it look too obvious, say, as she want, because say, if you go on too much, it will look away, like say, oh, you're probably easier, you just go to any girl or so. So now, you probably have this, we have this strategic mindset where we have to figure out how to do everything to make sure it go well and it plan a mission accomplished and all of that. We go home happy and we say, yeah man, we talk about it and we say, oh, you me see what you do with that. And we say, next time I know how to do all these things. There's also this podium where we men probably set ourselves for girls because you know that once you see her, you're like, all right, this is a queen and all that. So you say, queen need queen treatment. So you know, so you have to build up yourself. You have to get your money right. Yeah. So
Listen to me now. Hold on. There. Wanna look here now, man. Mr. Brown. Because we can't call it Andre again, you know. Mr. Brown. Lord of mercy. Oh, my word. Hold on, make it soak. Woo. Lord of mercy. My God. The church future is bright. Girls, they say, no more young man know about lie. Talk to me, Andre. Talk to me.
So, like I said, you know, that is your queen. That's why you have to give her that queen treatment. You know, you want to bring her on the nice dates. You want to make sure she get all the things she want. Me, you know, it's like, oh, if you say you want that, you're not here to ask. You don't. You already have it. You want this, you already have it. You want to live up there, so? Up there, so we are move, go. You want to go over there.
Yes, that is your mindset. Yeah.
But with this comes a lot of pressure too. Because it's like, oh, you probably don't make it there. Or you're not even there yet. And you're like, you know, so by now I should have reached here. Or by now I should have already be able to do this and can do this. And then it's like you have to kind of slow down yourself and remind yourself that you're still at this level. Next level is there to come. You just have to work on that level.
Bless you. True. I love it. And I hear the ladies saying, you know, anybody else want to chime in? Yes, Andre, we're saying yes. You know, the thing about your when you would have shared just now, I just hear you repeatedly saying, this is a queen. Royalty. I saw why you treat way. I saw why you think about it. And even though might not be there yet to the stage where I want, my mindset is whatever she wants, I'm gonna do it. Right. She wants to live there, that's the aim and that's the plan. If we don't reach there yet, girl, I'm working to it. Oh, Lord have mercy. I love it. Talk to me.
As Andre said about stages, we need to talk about stages in life, because I feel like people don't talk about the stages, the different stages, especially as it comes to relationships, or as it comes to, oh, I like this one, but I feel like we have to take it extremely slow as Christians, especially, because, okay, you know that you like this person knows, and this person likes you back. As Christians, you really have to sit down with that person and be like, this is where I am now. In my faith, this is where I am now. In my journey, this is where I am now. I want to know where you are, and I want to know what we're gonna do. Like, I want to know what. Right. What's the plan? I want to know, like, especially in
where do you
Christian
see
relationship,
this thing?
I want to know how your relationship is with Christ. But first of all, because I feel like that's the first thing you have to solidify before you get deeper into anything. You have to solidify the relationship that you have with Christ and the relationship that I have with Christ. Because if I say that I'm not going to do something, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And if you say that you want to do this, I'm not going to be quick to be like, oh, that's wrong, you shouldn't do it. I'm going to be like, talk with Christ. Send it to Jesus, because he knows, and he's going to guide you where you want to be. You know, back to stages. I'm straying. Back to stages. Right?
No, but that's an important point that you made, and I'm happy that you brought it up. As Christians, that's why I said we have to think about our walk with Christ, because that is important. As Christians, we need to be sure as to what it is that we're about, where we are and where we want to be, right? And whoever it is that we are going to have as a partner who thinks that they're interested, who will need to say that this is a queen and I'm going to treat like a queen. So we need to ensure that this person is clear about what it is that you really want. This is where I am, as Lily says. This is where I am. Where are you? What is your relationship with Christ like? Because at the end of the day, I'm a Christian and I want somebody to be able to support me in that way, on that wavelength. You have to be on that level. Because at the end of the day, if it is that we're not on that level, we're going to have challenges. And it is important for us to pay attention to that. Because a lot of marriages struggle at the end of the day because of that very thing. And then when you get to a certain age, sometimes persons will decide, oh, they're going to compromise and they're going to just go ahead because, but and some of us do, and we have the challenges and we deal with it as we go along. But the reality is, it's going to be hard. It is going to be challenging. It's easier for you to have a successful marriage when both of you are on the same path in terms of your relationship with Christ. When both of you have your, and that's one of the things that they tell you too, build your relationship with Christ. Have your relationship. That person have their relationship. You come together and the both of you is now going to be on this path to serve Christ. But you have to have your personal relationship so that when you come together, iron going to shine iron, and the both of you are able to move to the next level. Because if not, you're going to have to be pulling that person along, or that person have to be pulling you along, and you're going to spend all of that time and energy trying to get to that place. Yeah, so it's important for us to pay attention to that, because it can make or break marriages when you get to that point of being married. So make sure that you ask the questions, where are you, and be sure about this person that you want to engage with has to be somebody who is like-minded and who wants to have that relationship with Christ. I interrupted you, Lily. Go ahead. And then we're going to have Azania chime in.
So with all of that being said, oh, I lost my train of thought. with all of that being said, back to what I was saying about the stages, in different relationships. When you're starting out, I feel like everybody forgets the fact that we're young. And we're not gonna be perfect, as we've been saying. We've been saying we're not perfect, especially when it comes to other people, especially other people that you may like or other people that may like you. You're not always going to be perfect, right? So I feel like stages in our relationship, in terms of where I am, where you are, what you want in the future as well, is a very important stage in a relationship, because especially as Christians, because when us as girls, not talking about the boys, sorry, when us as girls are talking to people that we may have interest in, and I'm speaking for all of us, right? The first thing or the first thing that comes to my mind is, what do you want to do with me? Why are you with me? What are your intentions? What are your motives? What do you want? Right? Are you a genuine person that I can see a life with? Right? Because if you are in a relationship right now, or if you're talking to someone right now and you cannot see a life with them, then what's the point? I'm so sorry. What's the point? Like, and especially people in this oh my God, especially people now in this time, they go into things and it's like they're just there. They don't have any reason to be there. They're just because. Right. They have a girlfriend just because. They have a relationship with somebody else just because. I don't understand that, and I'm sorry. I would never get that personally, because when I'm in a relationship, or if I were in a relationship, right? If I were in a relationship, the first thing that will come to mind is this boy using me. That's the first thing that's going to come to my mind, especially now, because people are so deceiving. They're so deceiving, manipulative. Like, what you see on the outside is not at all far from what's on the inside. Because yes, it's the boy and him look nice and him look good. You get to know him. Then you're like, what did I see before that? Like, how did I get to this stage? Like, how did I get here with this person? And then you feel kind of pressured, because it's then, oh, it's hard to leave, because I'm already in this stage with this person, and we're not seeing eye to eye, and we're not doing, and we're not, and then you feel pressure, like, should I stay, should I go? Like, I feel like those stages aren't talked about. Yes, they can be yes, you can overcome them, but what happens when you can't, right? What do I do, right? Because yes, sometimes there will be compromises, but what happens when I can't, when there's this one thing that I just cannot find an agreement over, right? That's really, so stages in relationships
important. Stages, extremely important. And as we're going through the stages, as Anna is going to chime in, as we're going through the stages, remember, guys, we would have touched on something. We have our accountability partners, and those are persons who are going to be frank and honest with us. We can share some things if it feels safe, especially if you're not so sure about certain things happening. But you also have your mentor, for those persons who will have your mentor. But you have to have somebody who you can share with, that can guide you, who have walked that path, that you feel safe to talk to things with. To talk to about things, and it is okay. It has to be somebody who you're comfortable with, and over time, I guess in Christendom you'll figure out who you might be, and sometimes you might have to figure out talking about it at first, see if you're the same safe as if it's not you, and it's somebody that you know, asking for a friend, yeah, and you get some feedback and some input as to, how do I deal with that thing that I'm facing. But as I mentioned before, one of the important things, as you said, is because we're going through different phases and stages. As I said before, now you might feel this way, and as you said, by the time you get to know the person a little bit more, but then when you would have openly, everybody knows, especially when they reach 17 and 18, especially when they reach 17 and 18 and 19, and we in Christendom, we want to get married young and start having the family. And so when at 17 and 18 and 19, when they see us talking to somebody 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 time, they say we all the time, it's them. And 6 months on the road, we don't like him. And you just feel like, then never you and so and so, they look so good together. And this is, me realize, say, what you see is not what is happening. So that's one of the reasons why it's important to, do the groups, do the cliques. God know, but we'll give it time to go through the stages so that we know exactly what God is saying about this relationship or this thing. Talk to us, Asanya.
As you were saying earlier, you said that you should know where you are and where you stand, but you were speaking about relationships. But the thing is, you see, in life, you really have to know where you are, who you are, where you are with God. Because on this Christian journey, there are going to be people that are going to say to you, look for Azania over there, so I do this and I do that. And she says, you're a Christian. Or look for them, are judge, they're just quick for judge you. They don't know nothing about you. They don't know anything about you, but all I'm have to say is very negative. And it's good to know where you are, who you are. It's good to know yourself. Love yourself. Self-love is important. Don't make, because a person is going to say, your head big.
You will feel like
your head big.
Something wrong with you.
Your shoes we have on no look good. You're going to feel like you're not for wear it. Or you feel like you're going to cover your forehead. No. Listen. Self-love is important. And I love myself. And regardless of what people think of me, that now bring me down. Because God know who me is. As me say, God know who me is. God love me regardless of things what me do. Or who think who know about me. So no matter what you want to say about me, can't bring me down.
It's water off of that back.
So it's not only relationships alone, but you
generally.
Yeah, in general, you need to know who you are. No, because of what people are saying, you're going to change your life and change who you are to please them. What? No. No.
Really, just lick me with something.
And God say, come as you are.
Yes.
Come as you are. You don't need to be perfect. Me go back to that again. You don't need to be perfect. Come as you are. You have a one shoes, wear it.
Now your own. Wear it. My shoes.
After me.
I'm a little cute. I like it. Wear it.
Know who you are. And
not
because of where the people in the church that say, boy, you're not going to come to church
or
no
anywhere
more.
else.
You're not going to sing the choir again. You're not going to do all the things that we used to do in the church anymore because of where people are saying.
Can't allow that to stop you. I am grateful
we
for that.
We speak about God.
Input.
Look at God. God not going to judge you.
No.
God not, this is what I continue to keep telling Gabby.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, you might make mistakes, but God not gonna judge me, and He not gonna give up on we.
Not gonna give up on us. He's
Yeah.
not gonna give up.
Know
And
who
He
you
knows
are.
everything that we would have gone through. He knows where we are. And as long as we're honest with Him, as long as we are, and Gabby mentioned it, we're going to repent. And we're going to talk to God about whatever it is that would have happened. We're not perfect. But it doesn't mean that when we do the things that are imperfect, we're going to stay there and think that it's okay, I can always fail because God going to forgive me. No, because we're not going to be presumptuous about it. But we are going to recognize that I am not perfect. And the Lord knows that I am not perfect. And this is where I am. And I'm going to speak and be in my truth and be real with God and say, God, this is it. How do I navigate this path? Because the reality is, when we're not where we're supposed to be, we know. We know, we feel it. Gabby said it. I was baptized before, and people might say, oh, it's not about just baptism. No, but she knew where she was. And for her, it's important to recommit. It's important to do that outward show. Because when we did sin, everybody did say and know. So now it is that, or maybe they're not even saying no, but because you know, for you, it was important to get baptized again. Because I am not only showing the world, but I'm saying to the Lord, Lord, I am committing it to you again. So it is important for us to ensure that we are sure about who we are. And as you said, it's not just for relationships with a partner relationship, but it is in relationships on a whole. I am telling you guys, that is so powerful what you mentioned just now. Because I remember as a teenager, I struggled too with that very thing. And it had to get to the point where somebody said something about me and I was internalizing it and I did not realize how much it was affecting me, and I was angry. Let me tell you, say angry, because here why I was angry. I was a Christian. This person was a part of our youth ministry and the person was not a Christian. And this person was saying things about me that they didn't have a clue about, and it was all because they liked one of the members of our drama team. And so they make up all kind of stories about me, to the point where that little nice picture dress the way I have, and I had one like it, and them said the tire back she have something I going to me just start university. I was in my late teen going into university, and I was the tire back, and she looked like she pregnant, but she had a pharmacy, so she going to know if you do about it. And me sink me toe in the ground because me no more approach her, right? I want to talk to her. I want to approach her, but I can't. Because me Christian and she not. And I don't want to turn her away from Christ. Because me go to her, I want to go to her because you know about me, girl. Yeah. But I could not, and because of that, I was internalizing this thing. And this girl talking to me to say, listen, I was living in Nonsuch at the time. And my bridging them from Hamilton Mountain know about it. You hear me say? And I sink me toe in the ground. I'm angry. And I was in the kitchen one day and my mother said, come, we got the altar. I was in our bedroom and she carried me to the altar and she pray. And I'm telling you something, my ball. And I left it right there. I got up, relieved and refreshed. You know why? After that, no matter when nobody wants to say about me, it is water off a duck's back. Me no business. And you know what the Lord did? That same person who said things about me, I went to the post office one day, and I was sitting at the post office collecting my mail, and the person come bawling because somebody attacked something about her when I go so. And you know who talked to her and pray with her? Oh, Jesus. And it felt good because I could have did cuss her out and lose my salvation, maybe, or they would have looked for me different. But the Lord created an opportunity for me to show her Christ. You know, so you do the same thing, and I had to say to her, we don't have to listen to what people say about you, because it doesn't matter what people say. What matters is what God says. Yeah, and I prayed with her, and I am so grateful. So no say, nobody can say nothing about me if you make me feel no way. It is water off a duck's back, because I know what God says. I know what God said. And it doesn't mean that I'm perfect. It doesn't mean that we are perfect. Sometimes when people say things about us, I just listen and we try to examine it. Is there any truth to that really? Is that really, if this is what you're seeing, it means that this is probably what I'm portraying to you. It's not that I'm not sure of myself, but for you to say that, or if more than one people say something, I need to look into it and say, I wonder if it's true. Because like me now, when I get emotionally involved in a conversation or something, I get loud. And people might say your tone wrong. And not true. Not true. Because a lot of people say it to me, I recognize it and I know your tone wrong. So you have to be conscious about how do I fix that. It is not that I don't love me, because it's the same loud girl they want when they want cheerleading. And it's the same loud girl when they want to come loud speak about other things. But you still have to recognize that it's not okay to shout at people and your tone can be wrong. So I have to be conscious about that, because I know that I can be loud, especially if I get passionate, I can be loud. So sometimes, it's not that I'm not sure of myself, but when persons may criticize, you want to assess this thing, because sometimes it is not necessarily to tear you down, it's to build you. It's to help you to grow. And so, while that young lady may have intended to tear me down, she gave me an opportunity to grow. She gave me an opportunity to learn about myself and to be able to grow and to be at that stage where, whether it is in my professional life, whether it is in church, out a road, anywhere I am, I know who I am. So what you think of me, it's okay. I know what God says. Yeah, I know what God says. And I think Sister Dale would have touched on some of that when we were at retreat the last time. And it is something that we certainly will have to revisit, about knowing who you are. Knowing who God says you are, so that you can be sure about yourself. And Sister Daly will talk about things that we know, because she would always mention, say, listen, me this or me that and all of these things, but at the end of the day, what does God say about me? Yeah, and that is what is the most important thing. Talk to me.
So I'm glad you mentioned about the whole ordeal that you had with that girl, because I feel like as Christians it's so difficult to be the bigger person. Like, it's so, like, sometimes you just want to mighty, sometimes you just want to do some things, especially when people say some things about you, and you really have to sit down and be like, what? Like, really? Like, you have to sit down and be like, where did you actually get this from? Because some of the things are crazy, ridiculous. Like, you really have to sit down and be like, how this come about? So, like, I'm being a bigger person, especially for me, especially on this journey and mind you, I just started this journey, and I already have to be being the bigger person. Because I'm gonna tell you about a situation that I had with one of my friends, not my friend anymore, but one of my, right? Just the other day, I really had to sit down and be like, I'm just gonna pray for you. I'm just going to pray for you, because I'm not into the back and forth thing, right? Like, you're not gonna sit down here and curse me in front of my face. That's crazy. I'm not into that. So if somebody is, she played it off cool. She was like, oh no, I'm not. She's not doing something, but like, you know that, but you know what her intentions are. Like, you know what she's doing. You know what them little style that when people try to play it off and they're being passive aggressive with everything. Like, come on, I know what you're saying in reality. But I was just like, I was there with her, and I was like, okay, this is not gonna work for me anymore. I'm going to move on from the situation, right? But I need you to, like, look into yourself, because what you're doing right now is ridiculous. Simply ridiculous, and it's not going to benefit anybody. I don't think they realize that it doesn't benefit anybody, not even themselves. Like, they might be saying stuff thinking that, oh, everybody's going to think that I'm this and that because I said this and that about that and that person. That's not how, in reality, you're just making a fool of yourself. really is what you're doing, because especially if people know the truth. I'm telling you, the truth is that it will set you. I told her that the truth will set you free, because she has been lying about she's been lying about, I hope she sees this, she's been lying about so many things, I can't count on my fingers how many things she's lied to me about. It's a book, it's thicker than the Bible. Anywho, right? So she's lied about a lot of things, right? And I'm saying to her, like, look, this is the final time. I'm going to give you this chance. I said this just the other day. I'm going to give you this chance to just tell me the truth. Like, simply. Just tell me the truth. And she still lied. So you know that you have to exit yourself out of the situation now and be the bigger person. But you had no idea how hard it was for me to actually make that move in the first place, because she's a good friend. She was a good friend. Like, if I needed to talk to her about anything going on in my life personally, she was there, right? And it's so hard to cut people off like that, right? Especially when they know what you've gone through. And it's the fact, I'm kind of happy and I feel good in myself that I had the courage to do that, because if you really look into it, she was saying all these nice things to you and she knew that she was doing something wrong behind your back. What does that say about you as a person? I feel like people don't do self-introspection enough to be like, I'm doing this, why am I really doing it? Right? Nobody looks into that. No, everybody's just going on and doing what everybody else is doing, but why? Why am I doing this? What is the reason? How is it benefiting me? Because she goes to bed and she sleeps like a baby, knowing that she lied. Knowing that, and that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. I would never understand that she sleep like that.
It hurt Lily, guys.
No, it hurt me for real.
But like you said, Lily,
hurts
it's important. What you mentioned, one of the first thing that you mentioned that you would have said to her, I'm going to pray for you.
Right.
And that's important.
Right.
Especially because it's somebody that you would have shared with on that level. And I hear it in your voice that whatever it is, it hurts.
Yeah.
Because you weren't expecting that. And you're disappointed.
It was so unexpected.
All the more
and out of
reason
the
why
blue.
you're really going to pray for her.
Right, because
you know, I've seen this picture before, you know. Yeah, man, good friends, nice, good friends, and something happen. And they're not so close again, but they pray for each other. People pray for them, and them good again.
Yeah, because it's not like I have anything against her. I really and truly don't.
Keep praying
like,
for her.
I'm pray.
Keep praying for her.
Especially since I know what the journey that I am now, and that's something that can take me off of my journey.
Yeah.
I'm not going to allow persons to push me off of the right path. I'm not going to allow people to do that. That's why I say, that's why I'm glad that you mentioned this, because being the bigger person, it takes strength.
Yep.
It takes strength.
Yep.
Because I could have said so many things to that. But be the bigger person. Being the bigger person is extremely important.
It doesn't make you weak. So as I said, it takes strength. It does not make you weak to be the bigger person. I'm usually a very calm person, the type that's calm before the storm. Yeah, that type of person is like, I'm not going to say something and I'm not going to shout or whatever. And being younger, or at first, I was like, the ability to walk away, I thought it made me weak. Or one girl feel like she can run up in on me and tap me on my back. But no, you walking away is actually better. It doesn't make you weak. I just want to say that to somebody. Being the bigger person does not make you weak. Cutting off people, trust me, it doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you a bad person, because sometimes you are all on the rope, she are all on the rope, your hand is bleeding, her hand is bleeding, but if you would just let go, you would be okay and she would be okay. Sometimes to let go of certain people, it's better for the both of you, or sometimes it's better for you alone, or it's better for that person. Don't hurt yourself trying to save somebody else. Yep. It's not worth it. So it's okay to let go of people, and it's okay to be the bigger person. Because Azzy, let me tell you, balance in life, Azzy are the and I'm the wussa. Yeah. So having that, it's like I balance her, because sometimes it's easy for me to walk away. I don't really care. Like, I don't have the energy. I have more important things to do in life. That's how I see it. So it's okay. I feel like it's good, because she's, I'm going to say, the wally and beaten. But in life, like, especially when we're out, I'm able to calm her down. And in times where I need to be a bit relax, because I will just sit there and talk, and then I'm inside the comfort and licking at your face. It's unexpected. But it happens rarely, but it's good, as I said, to have the balance for her, for me to be able to calm her down, and she to be able to say, Gabriel, deal with that. Yeah. So it's okay. It doesn't make you weak to be the bigger person, and it's okay to cut people off. That's just what I wanted to say.
It's okay to go ahead.
And also, sometimes it's good to realize that some people don't have nothing to add to your life. We have to add that part to it, because sometimes we have a lot of friends in our life, and on this Christian journey again, them does not have nothing to add to it. None at all.
and it's not only about, sometimes I've heard this saying before. There are sometimes when persons come into our lives for a season, yeah? And we want to take them along the whole journey, but it is not for them to be on the whole journey. It's just for that season. And like you said, let them go.
Yeah, because
And move
sometimes
on.
you feel like you want, because you want them in your life and they've been there. Yeah, try to make them. Yeah, try to
They're
hold
not,
on
they're, not,
to
they're
it.
not supposed to be on the next stage of your journey.
But you're not realizing that it's okay to let them go.
Yep.
Still pray for them and think, but you know,
Let go.
put them on a level in your life.
Let go. Go ahead. Yeah.
Are we calm? So I like the passion. I like the passion that you all are delivering with. You girls are just something else.
Yeah.
Very intrigued. Usually you will see the young people around and you know, they speak to you politely and to Shanique, but you don't really get to feel their passion, you know. But there's something that Lishere said earlier that I know you guys would have heard about it, but I really want you to think about it, do some research, and really look deep into it. You mentioned stages of a relationship, and I want to go back to it. Do not, and I repeat, jump any gun and do anything that you would not be doing in front of your parent. So, while they will say, oh, the eyes of the Lord are watching you. The Lord is looking everywhere, his eyes going to and fro. And because we can't see God, sometimes we're not necessarily afraid and, God is there, whatever. But think about it, whatever it is that you are not able to do in front of your parent with a friend, don't do it. No, do it. May I beg you, no, don't do it. Because there's, what the word that I want to bring across is soul ties. You do not, and this is me speaking from experiential knowledge, you don't want to form soul tie with the wrong person. It is hard to break. Easy to form, you know, but very hard to break. And you don't want when that person, that wife, that queen that God has for you comes along. You're all tied up with Mary Jane, Shelly Ann, everybody over there. Your soul is tied up with them, and so you can't give that queen treatment to her because peace of your heart over the soul, peace over the soul, peace. No. You want to ensure that y'all are so at the moment pure and impressionable. You don't want to allow anyone to corrupt that. And I tell you something about purity. There is clarity in purity. I tell people, I lived a better Christian life when I was a child, when I was a teenager. And I at getting baptized at 10, I got baptized August, and I was told that, you know, make it past Grand Market. You guys know what Grand Market is. That's Christmas Eve. Make it past so much Grand Market after that. And I was a stern little Christian girl. No, I can't go play. I have to go read my Bible. That was me. Don't play with me. Yeah, man. That was me when I was a little child. And if I had known about soul ties, I wouldn't spend it. And I tell you too, you know, soul ties are not just formed with sex. And when I'm big people, I can't use the word sex. Soul ties are not just formed, but you can spend time with a person. Getting to know that person, getting those intimate conversations with that person, you're forming a soul tie. So we have to be careful of you're investing time with someone. Certain type of touches and, you are my, I'm gonna get married to you and we're gonna have 3 children and, hello, you're prophesying. You God did tell us, say, I'm gonna get married and I have 3 children. No. Remember what we speak out in the atmosphere. Those are the things that allow things to grow and things to blossom and things to become fruit. So I encourage my young people and those who are watching. I'm not an expert, but having lived it and having had to unravel from so many soul ties, because I didn't know I did not know. And the thing about that, thing what you guys have that I didn't have, is a world of knowledge. And many people around you that know these things. I didn't have many people that know these things. I didn't have access to internet and access to knowledge and all of that. And know, yeah, I read my Bible. But then sometimes I read and to be honest, I really don't understand what I read still. But I read it, and some things didn't come out clear as how they ought to come out. But now you guys have it. I envy you. I envy you, and that word I use it loosely, and I don't want to be sinning, but you understand what I'm saying. I wish I had what you guys have now. I wish I had it then. I wouldn't have formed certain soul ties with certain people, and having had to have to fast and pray, and it take a lot to break a soul tie. So before you form one, be careful and ensure that you're forming that soul tie, and also understand that you can form soul tie in friendships as well, and be bonded to the wrong friend. That person is a liar, that person is a cheater, that person now the baby and the man are still in parents, and you find yourself with the same actions. And I wonder, but I was never like this before. Where you come from? Did you check your friend circle? Your association, who you're associated with. That's where it came from. Show me your friends and I tell you who you are. It's a fact. That's my 2 cents. Do you have a 2 cents? Okay.
No. As we wrap up,
Yes.
Gabrielle is going to ask the question. Thank you
said
so much, guys.
Soul
Go ahead.
ties. Based on what I know about soul ties, it's mostly sexual. So you were saying that you can make soul ties in friendships. There's this particular person who is my friend, or was my friend, and then persons would say certain things about us, but I didn't pay that any mind. I didn't see the person that way until the other day. I was thinking about it. I was like, maybe. Because I'm the type of person, I'll be delusional until you tell me what is what. But I want to know, how do you know it's a soul tie? Because I realized I think about the person more now than I did then, but we're not really talking right now. But I want to know, how do you know it's a soul tie? Because it was never anything sexual at all. There have been a little jokes here and there, but I didn't take it serious. But now I'm thinking, and I'm thinking about the person more now than then. So how do I know that that's a soul tie? Is that a symptom?
I like that you use the word symptom. So it is like, okay, you're bonded with that person. Did it hurt when you stopped talking? Soul tie. Yes. Did it hurt when you stopped talking? So it is that you were bonded and you ripped it apart. So right there, so like a Siamese twin. Yeah, there's a go hurt. Yes. When that person feels the emotions, you have the emotional connection.
It look like look here. You said that a while ago, and like, huh? A whole heap of ties break up. Because a whole heap of time I heard when people walk away now. Come like, all right, talk to us.
I know, I didn't know either. I'm learning. That's why I said I want you all to do some deep research. And there's this gentleman that I like to watch. Don't want to get his name incorrectly. Conway. What's his last name? He's a preacher man. And he specializes in teaching singles. Oh my God. What's his last name? But his name is Conway Evans. Conway Evans. He's a preacher and he has content on YouTube. But he teaches a lot about these type of things. Your singleness, you know, that sort of thing. Soul ties, hello. As far as the east is from the west, run from it. And the thing about soul ties is that you can have healthy, good soul ties. Because I know you all have good soul ties among yourselves in church and stuff like that. And it's healthy, it's good. It's good to have them. To bond with positive people who can grow you and who you can grow with. But the negative ones, those are the ones that you have to be careful of. And as Gabby mentioned, I didn't have sex with the person, and that's just like the cherry on top to say. Because it takes a lot more on your bake to be able to mix up the cake. You understand? You have to heat the oven and put it in and wait certain minutes for it to bake. Ice it, but then that the sex seals it. Lock it in. Yes?
Sure.
So I don't know. I think soul tie is what you would call attachment issues in this day and age, but attachment issues, and that is something that I struggle with. I can be a friend for like 1 week, and then you tell me like 1 week. I swear it didn't even have to be 1 week. Like we talk 2 days and we talk good, and then now you like the next day like I'm gonna think. I'm like, oh my god, I'm worst thing ever. Like, I cry for it. I'm like, I want to me. Why you don't want to talk to me no more? I'm like, you just know that person here like 2 days ago. Why you going so? You're going like you know that person here for your entire life.
Nice.
And then it caused me to have a problem because I will be friends with somebody for not a long time, but end up stop being friends because of some thing that happened. And then I find myself acting like I know this person for years.
Even though it's
And
just
it affected me a lot. I crying. I even stopped doing schoolwork sometime because me afraid about it. Say, I wonder if like I something me do wrong, or they look at something them when me tell them if them gonna tell somebody else or something like that. So me start stressed about it, and then like me scroll through TikTok because we are young people have this thing where we like go up on TikTok and self-diagnose and we go up on TikTok and I see this something about attachment issues and abandonment issues. I'm like, why, Father God, no, that means that me can't go talk to
it's
nobody
one more
else
thing
again.
to pray about. One more thing to pray about.
Because I realized, to be honest, I realized it that I have this fear of people leaving me, and I have this thing where I get very attached to people very easily. And then I overthink a lot.
Yeah.
So even the slightest change in attitude, I pick it up. Like somebody will say okay. Like look how simple okay is. We say okay all the time in the simplest ways. And somebody will text me okay. I'm like, you vex with me. You vex with me. You don't want to talk to me no more. Like just tell me say you don't want to talk to me no more and don't like. Me start feeling when the person like, you know that serious.
Yeah.
You know that serious. I'm like, y'all tell me how me feel? Like, what you mean by not serious? You just text me, okay, just tell me say you hate me and done. Like, and know that y'all talk about the whole soul tie, me wonder if like it's the same thing.
Well, basically, soul ties do take time to be formed, but you mentioned abandonment issues, and this now makes me start thinking that, oh, something happened. Something probably happened in your childhood. Maybe someone left, and so, I don't know, maybe. But usually, those reactions stem from trauma. So I would encourage you definitely need a mentor. We all need mentors. As old as me be right now, I need one. Because mine left, but we all need mentors. And so I would encourage you to get as I said, pray about it. God, I need someone who can talk to me, XYZ 1 2 3. You know how you talk to your God, so you need a mentor and you need an accountability partner. And even mentioning mentor, you can have a healthy soul tie with a mentor, and it's going to be formed naturally, So that's my advice to you, And
I think one of the things that listening to the conversations too, I remember Sister Daly would have had the presentation at retreat the last time about knowing who you are. And I think it was really a rich discussion. And it's something that I'm going to certainly suggest that she has that conversation again with the young people so that we can really explore. I know that we had to rush through at retreat. And it was really good, I think. And it's something that we'll revisit because we want to ensure that we are sure about who we are, because that will give us that foundation and help us to move forward. And as you mentioned, the mentorship and the accountability partners and so on, it is something that I know that the youth ministry would have discussed about, trying to establish the accountability partners and ensuring that we have the mentorship. But I want to, and we're going to pray about this. We're going to pray about this. As young people, we're going to pray about it because we don't want to enter into it lightly, because we don't want to have some soul ties that's going to create some problems later. We want to ensure that we are led by the Lord, because this is really, really helpful The conversations, guys, that we have been having is rich. And I'm so grateful that you took the time to come and have this conversation. We had to do this to find out what's happening with our young people. Wad Up Yutes is a program that we here at Oracabessa want to hear from our young people, have the conversations, the real conversations about things that affect you, things that is important to you. And our young people would have shared today things that they are struggling with, things that they question, things that we don't talk about, that we need to talk about. And it has opened up avenues for us here at Oracabessa to ensure that we nurture, we guide, and we provide the guidance that is necessary. Thank you so much for joining us. God bless you.